Hi YouTubers and all my friends and subscribers and all my family out there that are watching this video at the moment. I'm currently making this video to add to the collection of Ellen videos out there, and I also strongly recommend everybody watches my Ellen playlist as well. Problem is I've been watching this object now for 6 to 12 months, and over that 6 to 12 months basically I've watched this object go from being an object that I've had to zoom into maximum zoom and use extra magnification just to bring it up to a reasonable size on the screen. And basically now I'm beginning to think that this actually could either be something else than just a long distance star. I actually believe this object is on its way due to those two little planets you can see there. Now, this could be a number of things. This could be Elenin, and if it's Elenin, it's dragging at least 3 extremely large asteroids. It could be NIBIRU, the brown dwarf star everybody's talking about. If it is, it's got 3 planets around it, which could cause massive solar flares. It could be ub313 dragging other asteroids with it. If it is, it's extremely large, or there's always that weird possibility it could be a planet-sized UFO. Everybody says that it's a spaceship out there, so I'm leaving that one out there for all of them. But the thing is, none of us can tell what it is exactly. The government knows. The government's not telling us, but I believe this is the reason why everybody out there is panicking at the moment. This object is definitely heading for us, and why do I say that? Because 12 months ago, all I saw was that bright light with the darkened sides to it. Even a couple of weeks ago, that's all I could see, but I was able, a couple of weeks ago, my magnification level was about 2/3 of what I needed of the camera to get it to, so that I could fill it out on the screen. Yet now, I can actually fill it out on the screen at a 1/3 of standard of the total that I could use. So that means that this thing is definitely moving towards us. And the other thing is, as you can see here by those 2 lights on the left hand side and one lighter one on the right hand side. Now to me, I actually think this could be proving a theory that I've had out there for some time. You can watch my other videos to see that theory. In other words, it's in regards to our stars move and work together in conjunction with each other, and as they do, they drag their planetary bodies along with them. And working with what some others say they are. Some people say they're planets are just nursery stars, the stars are all growing and stuff like that. Well, what if the planets are hollow? And well, you can throw out as many theories as you want, and I'm just filling in a bit of space here because there's nothing on the screen. Because with all the theories, something's actually happening. Now, when you look at what's happening and everything, you can turn around and say, okay, well, we've got all these FEMA coffins appearing out in the United States at the moment. Now, the conspiracy theorists out there say that the coffins are for the New World Order. Okay, guys, well, I don't think they're for the New World Order. Okay, I actually believe it's for what we're looking at right here. Now, I've got to say one thing too. Now, if you look to the bright section of that light, you'll see a darker line going to the side of it. Don't take any notice of that. That's just a shadowing effect coming from the object. When it was on an angle before, it didn't match up, and you see that there's a slight movement there with the star. That's me and retrying to angle it. But that dark line stays like in a perfect vertical, perfect horizontal. Sorry. Now the thing is with this, I thought, the second one that's closest to it was actually to the rear of it, and something either attached to it, or whether or not it actually is another star coming around. As the video goes on, to me it does seem to be another planet. But as I said, it could be Elenin, If it's element, and this thing is huge. This thing is massive. And it's dragging along 3 very large asteroids with it that we can see at the moment. There may be more visible soon as it gets closer and closer to us. Because I can tell you now, I don't think this is the element that everybody's talking about, because of the angle that it's coming in. This has never hid behind the sun, so I believe this is something else. Okay, I believe this is something 100% different. I do not think, okay, that, number one, I don't think that it's element. I don't think that it's NIBIRU. I don't, oh, it could be NIBIRU, okay, yeah, I've got a bit of a thing, okay, it could be the NIBIRU theory. It could be a massive UFO. Now, when I say a massive UFO, I have actually spotted massive UFOs on NASA images, and I've got that evidence on my website. Now, these dark spots, guys, that's just me fiddling with it. Occasionally you'll see me cleaning the lens, trying to get a better focus. But the thing is, this is nowhere in the direction of Elenin, or because where Elenin's supposed to come in from in between the sun, and we're supposed to disappear from our sight, and we're supposed to be hiding. That's just me trying to magnify it with a magnifying glass. Trying to get a different, it's a filter there, that one. Just trying to get, if I can see what it is behind it, get a better image of it. But the thing is, this is coming from a totally different direction. Now, if this is coming from a totally different direction, this is something that I believe the government does know about. There is no possible way that they could not have seen these extra objects with this object, and I believe they're all letting us think that Elenin is actually the event that's going to cause all the damage. I think it's this, because this is heading directly for us. Directly. It gets brighter and brighter and brighter every single week. The magnification that I need to view this object is less and less and less. Now, I'm not even using the digital, so I don't even think the digital side of the camera is kicking in. To view this at that level, basically, it's sort of before, as I said, I had to magnify it up right high. There were no secondary objects with this, but it really freaked me out. Like, I went out there last night because of the fact that the clouds are finally cleared after a couple of weeks of cloudy skies. So I'm out there and I'm actually out there looking for Elenin, which I think I saw earlier in the evening, which was near the sun. But I thought this one might have been Y255. But when I saw these 2 objects that are constantly moving with this object for quite some time, it started to shock me, and I'm thinking, my God, what have I actually captured here? And then it starts to think, okay, then I go back to my theory about moving stars. And the moving star theory virtually said, as I've said, it basically, our stars propel themselves, they are either intelligently controlled, or they actually control themselves. Now, and they drag their little babies along with them, which could be, well, my theory of the universe is all the planets are hollow, the internal suns are the new stars of the future. That's why our planet grows, and it's been proven that our planet is growing, not, how would you say, moving around. It's sort of that side of it has been proven now. So yeah, there's many theories out there in regard to it, but when it comes to looking at this and looking at how it has actually come towards us and towards us and towards us and towards us, tells me that it's coming towards us. It's getting brighter. There are extra objects. Now, notice how the one on the right-hand side is getting lighter. To me, I believe that is orbiting. That's me cleaning the lens, by the way. I believe that's orbiting. Now, notice the little one that's close to it is a little bit further away, and it's getting a bit brighter. The other one at the front is sort of just still about the same intensity, but looks to be a tiny bit closer. I actually truly believe this is a moving star coming towards us that the government knows all about. I don't believe it's one of the ones that have been seen, because this thing hasn't gotten big enough yet, has not been near the sun yet. So basically, yeah, I don't think it's the others, but I think this is something new. But I do believe the government does know about this. I believe this is the event that all the FEMA coffins are for, all the Russian shelters have been built for, all the underground dams have been built for, because if this is a moving star heading directly for our sun, and if it crosses anywhere near our sun at close range, this is going to cause massive solar flares, and I mean massive solar flares. The fact that two stars together, basically it's going to cause magnetic interference to the Earth, which I believe it's already caused to Jupiter, because as everybody that has looked at recent photos of Jupiter, the storm on Jupiter has vanished, so has the cloud ring that went with it. There's quite a few other phenomena, like i.e. our planet is no longer in the same alignment. Also in regard to the fact that the moon is not right, and you've only got to go out there on the video and in YouTube and type in what's wrong with the moon, what's wrong with the sun. You'll see tons of videos about people proving that the sun was there, and it is actually known now that our pole has shifted. The airports have had to redesignate runways so that planes don't crash. So yeah, it's sort of, you've basically got to put all these facts together. The Russian bomb shelters, FEMA coffins all over America, millions of the damn things. What are they for? Okay, some people say New Order. I say it's this event. Okay, now here's another interesting fact. China, in the centre of China, are building major cities that are lying deserted, and no one in there except for the workers in China. Now these cities are basically too far away from the coast, from any port or anything to be viable. Yet in an article that I was reading before, one of the government said that in the event of a disaster, they're going to need somewhere for their refugees to live. Now, yeah, it's just basically, this is section is someone else's story, and I'm using it under the Fair Trade Act. Now, also this is Russian money. I want you to take good note of it. Now, we've got the Elenin event. Okay, now this is supposed to be the asteroids coming around past our sun. Now, okay, now that's definitely a map of Elenin. And all the things here, again, this is a reused video. In regard to this, under the Fair Use Act, I'm using these videos because this needs to be known. And it all coincides with, I think, what is currently being seen in my vid as well. We've got the planetary alignment, we've got everything happening here. There you've got the orbit of NIBIRU on Russian money. Now, Russia's also built 5,000 shelters. Okay, why are they building it? But it's the next bill that is very interesting. It's aliens on the money. Anunnaki are on the money. They've put Anunnaki on the money. Why would Russia put aliens, the Anunnaki, the giant Anunnaki, on money? Now, that's a question. Now, here's some of the dams that are being built all over the world. Another video I'm using under the Fair Use Act that I believe everyone should see. This one's sped up a bit. They've got growing centres to grow food. As you can see, they're extremely large and will be able to contain a large amount of people in the long run. In the event they've got to quickly stock them. As you can see, doors, everything, they intend to stop someone from getting in. They've got water supplies. They've got everything thought of in here, and as you can see, they're building very frantically, and something is truly going on. And you've got to think about, okay, what's going on? Why is all this being built? The water reservoirs, military internals, supplies. Yeah, as you can see, massive doors, the whole lock, stock and barrel. Well, that's, I think I think that was NATO we just saw there. That's NATO again. Again, well, we know why NATO's underground. It was the famous Stargate image there. You can see these dams, they're building them everywhere. Like 27 levels. Like, something is truly going on. What is going on? They've known about this for some time. Now, you go back to my images there, the image of the star with the 3 planets around it. That would have been visible to Hubble some time ago, of a star moving along with its planets coming towards us. Yeah, they would have known about that quite some time ago. And you can see there, just like those tunnels are extremely long, and most probably each one of those tunnels, they've got ships. Why are they putting ships underground? Got to think about that aspect as well. Famous people, we all know who that is. Again, tunnel after tunnel after tunnel after tunnel, transport systems, entrances to these bases. You can see they're absolutely making things hidden. They're hiding stuff, they're not hiding stuff. Water reservoirs, yeah, landing pads for the rich and famous. That one I'm still trying to work out. Yeah, living quarters, and so yeah, there's quite a lot happening, and you can see some people moved into them already, and I'd say every time there's a thing. Now, the Americans are using taxpayer dollars to make these, and yet 10 to 1 the poor's not going to get in. Another ship underground. What's going on, people? Something is truly going on. Why are they putting ships underground? Why are they protecting them? Why are they building vegetable gardens underground? Something's going on. You're not being told about it until the last minute. I believe that they're turned around. I believe Deep Impact may have been a warning to us, right? And the thing is, it's sort of, these people are truly preparing for something. So what you got to turn around, you got to think about how we're going to survive when the shit does hit the fan, guys. So how are you going to survive? You got your stores ready. Now, going back to that aliens on the money, could this be NIBIRU transporting along with its own star coming around past our planet? And could this be the way that they truly travel? They just travel with their star on an orbit that goes around. Could this be the event that causes the floods? Could this be the event that has caused all the major disasters, wiping out civilizations all the time? You've got to look and think about it. You've got to think about preparedness. Now, even if nothing happens on November 8th, are you going to turn around and say to your family, if the shit does hit the fan, that, oh, sorry guys, but I didn't think anything was going to happen, we're going to have to go and scrounge for food? The food could be wiped out. There could be nothing left. The food that you've stored and put away could be the only food left, and there could be 2 months, like volcanic ash from the Earth being upset by the extramagnetic field of another star coming towards us, could set off Yellowstone. Now, if Yellowstone goes off, like, it will spread ash all over the world. Now, are you going to have enough food and water to survive that couple of months? It could be years. It's sort of, we don't know. Do you have the facilities to do it? Do you have generators run power? Do you have extra fuel? Do you have the water? Do you know where you can get water? Do you have the purification systems? Do you have enough gas to burn and everything like that? You've got to think about everything. But one good thing with water, if you can generate a little bit of power, you can generate a little bit of hydrogen, and you can cook from hydrogen, providing you make a a hydrogen cell that's used in cars. You can generate enough energy to cook a small meal from a few volts from a battery. So there's quite a lot that you can do, but you've got to think about your preparedness. Have a look at my Ellen and warning list. Have a look at all the videos I have compiled. I put little chops and changes within this video. It could boil down to this is nothing more than a UFO, okay? But I don't think it is. After studying this video and watching how that one on the right-hand side has got fainter, the second one closest to it is getting a bit further away from it, now makes me believe that these are orbiting objects around this star that is moving towards us. Moving towards us, folks. Up until today, those planets were not visible. Were not visible for 12 months. I have not seen them. As I said, I've gone from a couple of weeks ago where I had to use 2/3 magnification on my telescopic section to where I'm only using 1/3 of normal power of magnification. It's not even going into the digital. It's just going into the standard magnification. So, what is it? Is it Eleanor? Are the Anunnaki truly coming back? You've got that American bill, HR 821 or something like that, where they're talking about the classify. I'll throw that in. I'll see if I can find it. I'll throw it in the end if I can find it. If not, I'll make sure that I've got a link to it in the video eventually. You want to watch that one as well, because they talk about superhuman strength. Why has Russia got Anunnaki on the money? When you think about it, okay, are they trying to protect themselves by saying, okay, we think you guys are gods and everything like that, and we're going to worship you and use rule? Yeah, well, so we could be in for a shit fight. You never know. But do you have the food and the water to survive that period of time that it's going to take? Can you run off the grid? Now, okay, talking about running off the grid, there's an engine called the Capigen engine. I will put a link to it at the end of in the description. Go to that website, have a look at the Capigen generator. Now, this is something every person on the planet should look at, because there's a small little device that can be made for under $100 that can supply you with enough. Fair enough, you need a bit of nous, and the government could turn around and make these things safe so that you could plug it into the ground outside your home, plug it into your house, and you wouldn't have to be on the grid. You could be generating all the power you need for the rest of your life. And it draws it from the ground. It's based on Nikola Tesla's devices. A couple of people have even tried to patent Nikola Tesla's device, but but the thing is, do you have the equipment? Do you have the knowledge? I have spent years studying at college different subjects for different reasons so that I can get my own patents and stuff like that. But I have also recently been studying subjects in case we do come into the shit hit the fan scenario. And when you're talking around your kids, talk about SHTF. Shit hits the fan. That way your kids don't know what's going on, because I've actually was talking to my brother about it. One of my nephews got upset, freaked him out a little bit. So when you're talking around near your kids, just be a little bit careful. Young kids, they tend to panic a little bit. Or you can tell you might have trained your kids to be prepared. A smart person will train their children to be prepared, because I'm a Boy Scout. I was taught to be prepared. And this is one of the reasons why I've taken precautions. I've made sure I've got 2 months' food. I've got 2 months of water. And next week I'll have 3 months' food, 3 months' water, because I'm going out and buying another month's worth. I'm going out and making sure that I've got water purification setups. And I mean setups, so that I can purify water for a couple of years. Not just a couple of months, a couple of years. Because if I need water, I want to be able to get it out of the ground. I've got an artesian well near home. I can stick a PVC pipe down and pump it the old-fashioned way if I have to, and just pump up the water, filter it, and I'll get it out from underneath the ground. But the thing is, you've got to think about all these little tiny things. Now, at the end of this video as well, I've left the NASA video that they sent out, email that they sent out to all their people here, and they send another one out, like they put out a video to the world saying nothing's going to happen, rah, rah, rah. Yet why is there a worldwide media blackout? Now, in a couple of seconds, you're going to see the NASA video. And you're going to wonder why we've got a worldwide media blackout. It's on NASA websites, everything like that. And then NASA sends this out to their people. Here we go, and I'll see you all later.
They've given me a few minutes just to talk to all of you in our NASA family about emergency preparedness. NASA recently participated in a FEMA exercise called Eagle Horizon that was a part of a continuity of operations and government exercise that we do annually. And I became aware of some things that concern me about our family preparedness, and I wanted to talk to you very briefly. You know, we in NASA, we're an incredibly unique organization. We're the only agency in the federal government that's responsible for the safety and well-being of people not only here on Earth, but off this planet. So my experience in the astronaut office, my experience as an active duty Marine, always talked about the importance of family preparedness and to make sure that we had a viable family support program. And I have concerns that ours right now is not as good as it ought to be. So what I'm asking all of you in the NASA family, whether you're out on the West Coast, here on the East Coast, along the Gulf Coast, up on the Great Lakes, think about the natural disasters that could occur in your area. Think about attacks that could come like 9/11 from outside forces, and talk to your family about your work and what they need to do to prepare for the unforeseen.